Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are making another giant D20 and I'm going to try and make a liquid core dice. So I've got this plastic Christmas decoration and I've cut a hole in the top and it's a two-parter, so I have to stick it together with some UV resin. So using a toothpick, I am just going to very carefully spread the UV resin where the two parts join all the way around the inside edge, and then I will cure it, and then I will do the same thing for all the way around the outside edge to hopefully provide a watertight seal so nothing will leak out. Now the inside is all cured and the little bit at the bottom of this silicone cup is going to be the perfect shape to seal the hole up when we're ready for that. So I'm now going to work away around the outside of this ornament sphere to create a watertight seal. Now this is one of those classic situations where I thought I had pressed record and I hadn't, but I'm just going to add a little bit of extra just for, purposes of illustrating my point. I'm putting in some purple mica. I've also put in some silvery white mica as well as some iridescent rainbow flakies. I'm then going to put in some distilled water. I've heard you can do baby oil, I've also heard you can do water and glycerin, but I don't have either of those, so I'm just sticking with distilled water and pouring it slowly up past the seal. It's not leaking, which is good news, and so I fill it all the way up. I want to fill it up as much as I possibly can without overspilling, because I don't want to leave an air bubble inside this liquid core. We're just going to use a bit of UV resin and that little resin cap that came out of the little bowl earlier to create a lid and seal everything in there. So we'll cure that under the UV light. And then just for an added layer of protection, we'll just go over the edges just one more time with some more UV resin. And here is our completed liquid core. It's much more beautiful in the way that it swirls and all of the different micas and flakes interact than it is on camera. But now we're going to pour the actual dice portion, and we have finally finished the 2:1 resin. So we are back to 1:1 epoxy resin. So we're going to mix equal portions of part A and part B. Together we will mix for 5 minutes with a timer, constantly stirring just to make sure all of the parts are mixed together, scrape the sides and the bottom. For colouring this dice, I wanted to go with a transparent kind of sparkly purple, so I am using this purple alcohol ink. It's not the greatest, so if anyone has any good recommendations for decent purple alcohol ink, because I think I used nearly 20 drops in this one, and you can see right now it's still very clear. It kind of washes out. So I just squirt a whole bunch in there, and then even to darken it I add a bit of black just to give a darker colour, which in retrospect might not have been the best idea. I'm also using this pearl alcohol ink as well to give it a bit more of a shimmer. So this is a giant mold. I'm going to pour a little bit in the bottom and then put the liquid core in the center, and I was having trouble getting it in because of my gloves, so I removed one glove, kind of squished, finally got everything inside, and then put my glove back on immediately so I didn't come into contact with any resin, and then poured the rest of the resin that I had mixed into the mold and try to arrange the liquid core so that the whole part would remain on the top. I popped the lid on and then I let that cure for about 10 hours before I poured the next layer. So I have mixed the same resin up again. I took notes about how many drops of all of the alcohol inks that I used so that I could try and match the colour as best as I could, and I filled the mould the rest of the way, stopping short of the very top so I had room to put the lid in, and then poured the rest through the sprue hole of the top of the mould with some overflow just in case any bubbles popped and the dice had some resin reserves to pull from. I'm going to let this sit for 48 hours. After 48 hours, as you can see, there is a void, but this is just, I guess, one of those molds where if you don't have a pressure pot, you kind of have to deal with bubbles and voids. And so I'm using a pipette of soapy water to help demold this thing because it's kind of an awkward shape to one mold. This is it, and as you can see, what I mean by I think adding a drop of black was too much, but I'm going to colour the numbers in purple by just painting in the numbers and then wiping off the excess with my finger. I think that the purple and the gold go together. It's kind of regal and royal in a way. The final step I have to do before this is finished is I am taking some acetone nail polish remover and I am going just to wipe the excess paint off the faces of the die, just to clean it up a bit. And with that, I think it's time for a reveal. In the full and grand sunlight of the day, you can kind of see the liquid core a little bit. But I still think for a first go at doing a liquid core giant D20, I've done a pretty okay job. I think next time I will definitely stick to darker colours in the core and very translucent, transparent colours for the resin dye itself. But if you like this video and have any ideas what you think I should include in a liquid core or any colour combinations, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, thumbs up, thumbs down, and I'll see you next time.